welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming in my living room again. The weather's nice, it's nice and bright, so it makes sense to film it in a little bit more of a relatable environment. So let's get on with today's tutorial. I've already applied my Murad Oil and Pore Control Mattifier in SPF 45. The ultimate mattifier for me. It is expensive, but it works beautifully. So I've applied that through T-zone. For foundation today, I'm going to use more of a tint. This is a kind of like medium coverage tint. This is the Decay HydroManiac and I love this. Whenever I wear it, people always ask me what I've got on my skin. The shade I've got is 41 light medium. Now the beauty with this is that you can apply it with your fingers. It's kind of a medium consistency. It's not runny, but it's not thick. So this goes on beautifully, and as you can see, it does give you that kind of medium coverage. Normally tinted products tend to be a lot more lightweight, but this really does give you a lovely amount of coverage. It is a slightly glowier foundation, which I'm okay with because it's nice and bright and it's summery, and it's a Sunday, so I'm not going to be going anywhere special. So I'm not looking to have super matte skin throughout the day. I just really love that kind of natural glow it gives. This comes in only 12 shades, but they're very flexible. So there's like 3 shades I could probably wear that would be absolutely fine and adaptable. You know, one would be slightly lighter, but I could bronze it up. One would be slightly darker, and I could lighten the centre with some concealer. That's kind of nice because you don't have to worry too much about the shades. So as you can see, that bottom half of my face kind of matches the rest of me now. Of course, you could put this on with a brush, but the idea of this product is it's simple enough just to put on with your fingers. So lift your tiny baby hairs up and get that right into your hairline. Once I've got it on, I just like to go in with a brush and press it into the skin. You don't have to do this, but I just like that it almost makes it look like there's nothing on the skin. And it also looks a little bit better around your pores if you press it in with a brush. You may notice that Miss Piggy's been demoted today because the last time I filmed downstairs, her little eyes kept getting picked up by the camera as a face, so then I kept going blurry and she was in focus. So today she's been demoted. I'm going in with a second layer just to show you that it is buildable. I'm sorry, the lighting might change a little bit because the sun keeps going in. So again, just go over it really quickly with your fingers. I've been doing a lot more lightweight looks recently because, you know, no one's really got anywhere to go. And sometimes we still want to put makeup on, but we don't want anything too heavy because we're not going anywhere. These kind of looks are a little bit more relatable because they're kind of everyday looks, aren't they? If it gets a bit noisy, it's because I've opened up the back doors because it's just too warm. Okay, so I've just popped my brows on using the Decay brow blade. I'm going to go in with some concealer. I have a new one. This one is the Mercier Secret Camouflage Brightening and Correct Duo, which is this pen form. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It seems to be quite a new one. So one side is the concealer and the other side is a brightener. If you're somebody with quite dry skin, you might not like it. I'm taking in the brightening side and popping that on the inner corner of the eye. This is where I've got a little bit of darkness, and then I'm going to use my finger to pat that in. Then I'm going to go in with the corrector shade just in this dip, and then a little bit over that area that we put the brightener. A bit under there, and just a couple of stripes across my cheek. So I'm going to take a synthetic blending brush, this one's by Real Techniques, and buff that into the skin. And as you can see, it is a slightly thicker consistency, which is normally good because it means it doesn't really move. If you've got drier skin, those kind of products do tend to cling to dry skin, so you might not like that. It's not that bad actually. It's not particularly drying. The reason I only put the colour in this dip is because we want that area to be a little bit brighter because it's causing a bit of a shadow, which is natural. If we add lightness to where that shadow is, it almost looks a bit more like it's level with the skin, so then you don't look like you've got that darkness. But if you take it all the way over that area, then it defeats what you're trying to do. I prefer it when you pat it in with your finger rather than a brush. I'm just not so much a fan of stick. I find the stick ones tend to make the texture of the skin just that bit more obvious compared to a liquid. However, it does look nice. For eyes, I'm going to use this Art Library by MAC. So this is how it looks. We're just going to do something really, really simple and neutral. So I'm going to take the shade Drop the Robe, which is a frosted shade, and I'm going to take that on the Zoeva 234 Luxe Smoky Shader brush. So I'm going to push that over the actual mobile lid. So this isn't too dissimilar to the skin tone, if you're similar tone to me, but it adds a shimmer and like the subtlest of subtle bronze. I think it's more of a peachy tone. It's really lovely. I love MAC eyeshadows. They've been kind of a staple in my kit for as long as I've been a makeup artist, which is 17 years. They're super pigmented. The payoff is always so beautiful. They always do kind of unique tones that just some other brands just don't have, especially their pigments, their little pigment pots. Those were kind of always something that was really unique to MAC. You can use these wet as well, so if you want something more of a, you know, more reflective, you can dampen your brush. Then I'm going to take the Sigma E36 blending brush. I love these ones. They're like tiny little crease brushes, and they're great because they just sit directly in that crease area. I'm going to take this matte shade called Sandstone, tap off all the excess product, and then we're just going to work that in the actual socket of the eye. So just work it backwards and forwards. When I look directly in the mirror, I can see that when my eyes open, I want to take the colour out directly in line with the crease of my eye. So that's why I'm pulling what's left on the bristles out in that direction. So it will give a nice smoke, but it will also shape the eye. And then, like, when there's basically nothing left on it, you can work that colour upwards so it just fades into that skin on the brow bone. You can always take a bigger blending brush with nothing on it and just go over it, and it will kind of like almost feel like it's blending away everything you've put down, but it's not. There is a softer version of what you put down, and it will enable you to layer over the top of that, and then that way you can build up the intensity, take it down a little bit, build it up until you're happy with how it looks. I'm going to pop a little bit of that just on the outer third of the mobile lid. Quick and simple. Go back in with the brush we've dropped the robe on. Just pat over it so there's no seams between the two colours. Then I'm taking the Sigma E21 smudger brush, dipping that into Sandstone, so it's a tiny amount of colour, and running that underneath your bottom eyelashes. Now what I always say is to connect that with the outer corner of the top lid so that it frames the eyes. There's not this like little gap where there's no colour. Doesn't have to be intense, just a little something to connect them. Then I'm taking Dance in the Dark, and this is a matte shade. I'm going to take that on a damp brush, and I'm going to use that as a little bit of eyeliner. So just look down and softly run that really close to the root of the eyelashes. You can use a smaller brush than this little one. It is quite tiny, but you might find if you've got hooded eyes that you'll get on better with an eyeliner brush. You can see I'm kind of doing a stipple motion to kind of keep it really close to the root. And so it's soft, not like a really defined line. Dampen my bristles, dab it onto my hand so it's not soaking, but it's just like a little bit damp. Just build it up slowly. Today I won't wing it out because I know not all of you like a winged out liner, and just stop wherever you are happy with that darkness. I'm also going to do that at the root of my bottom eyelashes. So drop your bottom eyelashes and just run your brush really softly between the root. I'm also going to blink onto the brush to really get that in at the root. You can see the difference between the two. When you blink onto it, that lash line looks a lot darker. Cute little trick, isn't it? I'm going to take the No Lash Lash by Sweet Lashes and Nikki Wolf. I'm going to pop some along the top lash line. So that is the eyelashes on with no mascara. I've not used this mascara in a while, but you know I absolutely love it. This is by Le Bouton, and it is the Amplify mascara. Just going to pop this on at the root of my eyelashes. It's such an expensive mascara, but it's one of the ultimate mascaras. I'll be absolutely gutted if they stop making this. Because they're like dovetail in shape, they give a beautiful length to the eyes. Wispies tend to all come out with maybe like 5 or 6 kind of individual lashes that splay out. Once you create a layer of those, they create a nice big fan of lashes, whereas these are a little bit more spiky. Those eyelashes are so beautiful. I'm going to link them in the description bar for you. Taking a little bit of my Bare Minerals Endless Summer Bronzer in the shade Faux Tan. I'm going to take that on my Zoeva 127 Luxe Sheer Cheek Brush. The hollows of the cheeks upwards, well just above the hollows of the cheeks, because it's more of a bronzing look. I have this new product, sculpted by Amy. It is the Cream Luxe Peach Pop Cream Blush. So lovely. I just love this whole packaging as well. That's sculpted by Amy. I'm going to link it below. And I'm going back in with my It Cosmetics 70 Luxe Complexion Perfection No. 7 brush. So I'm just going to dip that in there. It's quite pigmented, so it just gives a really nice sheen to the skin, much like most of these cream products that we've been using recently. You could use something a bit more natural. In the Nude by Nude Sticks was really nice. It would go lovely with this eye makeup. When it does go intense like that, don't worry too much. Pop your brush onto the back of your hand to get rid of any product. Then just go back in and tap it in. Don't be tempted to kind of blend it out everywhere, otherwise you'll find that you're just kind of taking it all over the face. Just continue to stipple where you first applied it. Keep it in that place and just keep stippling. And you'll find it just gets a little bit softer. I'm going to pop this on the lips as well. I like it. So I'm going to put my finger into that. Pop it on the lip. For a subtle blush of colour. I'm using this a lot recently, but I love it. It's the Elevated Glow Highlighter by Lisa Eldridge. This is Crystal Nebula. Everything she always does goes straight out of stock. Myself and Kelly Lash on Instagram were laughing together about the fact that we had our list prepared. We spoke about what we planned to buy when it was going live, and then we did it and we messaged each other straight away and was like, just got everything I needed. And then she shared something that she'd bought that I hadn't, and I was like, maybe I should do it again. I was like, no, and then everything sold out anyway. So these highlighters are beautiful. I'm going to pop this just on the high points of the face. I love that this has an ingredient in it that tightens the skin. So that completes today's makeup tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit smokier for a day look, but I like that because it's still very day appropriate. All the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Please come follow me outside of YouTube over on Instagram at Show Me Makeup, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.